Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Game Day Live. I guess I'm saying good morning, but you're 2 hours in St. Louis. You are 2 hours ahead of us. So good afternoon for you back home. If you're tuning in here in Las Vegas, because we know a ton of Blues fans came out here. Well, good morning to you guys. And, of course, some of them, I'm sure, are probably sleeping now that I think about it.
Well, yeah, I think there was a couple thousand of them that showed up.
Yeah.
They were chanting on the Southwest flights, "Go Blues, go," on the way out here. So I'm sure that they're probably tucked in and had their first taste of Vegas last night, got them a little bit upside down, and they're not with us just yet.
But the good news is if you miss Game Day Live and you don't see it live, you can catch it anytime on your social media channels. All right, Blues and the Vegas Golden Knights here tonight. Las Vegas still first place in that Pacific Division, and they're closing in on a division title. They're 2 games shy of 50 wins on the season in their inaugural season. Last time the Blues were out here was back in October 21st, as a matter of fact. And then in early January, on January 4th, Vegas came to St. Louis. The Blues got an overtime loss here in Vegas. They won 2-1 in St. Louis. And Chaser, we're at our next biggest game.
Well, here we go again. We're saying the same exact things. This Vegas team, it sputtered a little bit for a bit, but they're starting to get on track now. They lost the game, which is uncharacteristic of them, at home to Arizona 2 nights ago, and so they'll be looking to redeem themselves. It's a tough team that as we've talked about in the past, they're plug and play. They have the same type of a line for the fourth line as they will have on the top line, and they just keep coming at you. No matter who's asked to step up, they seem to be finding ways to do it. So this is going to be a heck of a tough hockey game tonight.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, and let's stay with Vegas here for just a moment. How about William Karlsson? 70 points on the season in 77 games. He's got 40 goals. He's got 30 assists. Now, he was originally drafted by Anaheim. Played 18 games his first season in the NHL with Anaheim. They trade him as part of the Wisniewski deal to Columbus. He plays 2 seasons with Columbus. 81 games in each of those seasons. 16 total goals. Comes out here as part of the expansion draft and just explodes onto the scene.
I believe they had to give up a draft pick to take him too, and so they give up the pick and they get Karlsson, and here he finds his way. It's amazing how for some guys it clicks at different times, and I think a lot of guys here are getting rejuvenated. I think the coach has a lot to do with that. I think Gerard Gallant's done a spectacular job of finding ways to push buttons with guys. Hey, we're kind of the scruffs, the kids, the stepchildren of the league. Nobody wanted you, sort of thing, and the next thing you know, he's used it to an advantage. And Karlsson was one of those guys where, he's come out and really put a stamp on the city, put a stamp on the league, and said, listen, I belong and I want to be a responsible player that gets more action. He's done that. There's a lot of guys on this lineup for the Vegas Knights that are in very similar circumstances.
All right, on the Blues side, they've won 6 games in a row, and really, look at the teams they've beaten on this 6-game win streak. And frankly, look at the teams they've beaten here, having won 8 out of 9 games. And the reality of it is they have found a way and found the confidence that if they play the game a certain way, they can compete with the top teams in the league.
Well, the last couple of games, they haven't got off to the starts that they've needed, but Jake's held them in there. So then they found their way, and as the games went on, they played 2 games in a row where neither team has got a scoring chance in the third period. If you get 0 scoring chances in a period when you're behind and you're chasing the game, the team you're playing is at the top of its game. It's playing responsible. The St. Louis Blues are certainly doing that. They've got a little bit of a storm you got to weather here early in hockey games in Vegas. But again, ugly but effective has kind of been the mantra here, and they've continued to win. They need another 2 points here. They need at least 2 points of these next 2 games, but it would be great to get them here, because I think if they get them here, they'll get them in Arizona. They'll keep that confidence growing.
All right, special teams, once again, another real important part of here. The Blues' discipline really has been very good. This Vegas team has got 4 power play goals and 9 opportunities over their last 2 games. St. Louis Blues are 0 for 6 on the power play against Las Vegas, but we have seen in the last couple of games just how important and how critical that well-timed power play goal can be.
That's exactly right. And from your goal scorer, Vladdy Tarasenko, I think the key to that power play has been Steen being in the middle of the ice and being in the front of the net and not handling the duties at the back end. I think you're asking too much from Alex to be in both places, and I like him in front of the net. He has no problem going there. He's more effective there. He knows how to manage, loose pucks and get them regain possession. But then he's there screening the goaltender. He can redirect pucks. Because of it, it's resulted in more opportunities, and it's also resulted in goals for them. Timely goals, as you said. And I think that's the key. You got to make sure your specialty teams are at top of the game.
Can we say enough about the continued development of Joel Edmondson in his 3rd season in the NHL when we're talking about a player that a season ago, very impactful in the playoffs in a pairing with Colton Parayko. This season, obviously missed a little bit of time with the broken arm, but when he comes back, Carl Gunnarsson goes down, and this is a guy that all of a sudden gets immediately put into that pairing again with Alex Pietrangelo. And and just continues to grow at the NHL level.
No question about it. I mean, he's been fantastic. He's a guy that he's got the leadership skills. He's got bite to his game. He sticks up for his teammates, and he's one of those guys you want to have on your team. Much like Robert Bortuzzo, he's been getting more responsibility and thriving with it. So for a guy like Joel Edmondson, he's an important part of what's going on right now, especially because they don't have an older, experienced guy in the back end that can be in that sixth spot. And so he's eating up more minutes than he has in the past, and he's taking the responsibility very well.
If Scotty Upshall gets back in the lineup tonight, what does that mean?
He will be back in the lineup tonight, and with that, he'll add a little bit of experience, help with the penalty kill. I think Tage Thompson will probably be the guy that comes out of the lineup, and with that, that'll give the Blues a little bit more experience. Again, the more experience you have this time of the year, the better.
All right, so Game Day Live wraps up here from Las Vegas. The team will hit the ice here in about 30 minutes or so for the morning skate. Game time is 9:30 St. Louis time, so 7:30 local time here. We're 2 hours behind you. The game in Arizona tomorrow as well, folks, by the way. Arizona is 2 hours behind the Central Time Zone as well. So a 9:30 St. Louis time drop of the puck. You can catch the pregame shows at 9 o'clock on both KMOX and Fox Sports Midwest. The TV guys were sleeping in. They need their beauty rest. There isn't enough makeup.
No, they're trying to locate makeup artists right now.
Right. Can you find makeup artists in Vegas?
Well, apparently there's enough shows going on, but they don't get up just early enough. So, yeah. and in the case of Kelly, they've got a lot of work to do.
All right. They're not here. We can say that. All right. Have a great day, folks. Enjoy the hockey game. Big one tonight. Blues in Vegas Knights, and let's go Blues.